Alright, so I'm back, and today, by request, I'm going to be doing just kind of a vlog explanation on my collection. Because, as some of you know, and I said this in the Toy World Scrapper review, I've decided I'm not happy with the Masterpiece collection. I actually decided this last week and started selling everything, and then some issues with work happened, and some of you know that, and I'll get into that in a minute here too. But so it was just like, I was thankful that I was selling it because I didn't know if I had a job. I knew I didn't have a job because I gave them the finger and walked out. So, yeah, so with the, don't worry, the job thing all worked out. I gave them the finger and I walked out and, cussed a lot of people out. And then they called me up the next day and we all had a sit-down meeting and hashed it all out. And so I'll be there for a little while longer. They're wanting me to stay at least till the end of summer. I want to be out the door today, but it is good money, so money's not everything though. So I'm just kind of playing it by ear for now. Anyway, back to the collection. So with the Masterpiece figures, first off, I haven't been having fun with the Masterpieces the way I have fun with Chug. It's like I can grab a Chug figure off the shelf, transform it a few times, throw it back up. Masterpiece, you can't really do that. That's part of it. Part of it is, sitting home, be like, oh, hey, look, there's a new Masterpiece available. Click. And it gets sent out to me, and then I get it. I open it up, I transform it a couple times, do a review on it, throw it on the shelf, and it's done. It just kind of, and Big Bad Toy Store, and a couple other places, because they use UPS, actually ship straight to my front door. So it's like I don't even have to leave the house, and it's just like part of me is like, man, it just sucked all the fun out of it. I miss doing the toy hunts. Why are you yawning? Such a lazy dog. I've never had such a lazy dog before. He sleeps until like 6 p.m. So anyway, so I haven't been having as much fun with it because I haven't been able to do the hunts and stuff like that. And Masterpiece is one of those collections that it's like you really need to be into it. And you really need to financially be into it, and just be completely dedicated to just that. And it's like, for me anyway, that's how it is. It's I don't have the funds because bills come first. I got to take care of the dog and rent and bankruptcy. Still paying that off. So it's like I don't have like a paycheck where it's like, okay, I can go buy, Mastermind Creations Predaking today, and then next paycheck, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go buy, Unique Toys Abominus. I can't go buy all the Masterpiece cars in one paycheck. It's for me, it's like, okay, I can buy 1 or 2 figures from that set out of my paycheck, and that's it. That's all the figures I can buy for that paycheck. And then, 2 weeks go by and it's like, okay, I could buy 1 or 2 more figures of that set. So it's like, okay, now we're in a month and I've got 2 or 3 figures. Let's average it out at 3 figures. 3 new figures for the month. And it's like, that starts getting to me like, I'm not happy with that. A great example is Ramjet. It's like, okay, here's a character that I actually like, and I did a giveaway for two of the figures, and then I bought myself one. So I had 3 Ramjet sitting on my shelf at one point. And all I could say about the Ramjet, honestly, is it's not worth $180. And it's like, okay, that's my funds for the paycheck. That was my funds for the paycheck. That was a little bit over my funds for that particular paycheck because I had a couple of extra bills coming out. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, so I'm broke, and the thing I have to show for it is a retooled, repainted piece of shit. It's like, if I want to collect retooled, repainted pieces of shit, I just buy the Combiner Wars stuff. My opinion of Combiner Wars hasn't changed. Don't get me wrong. Some of the figures are decent, but, it's like... let's take Wheeljack, for example. I know some people are saying he's pretty good, but honestly, it's like... it's a retool of Breakdown, and... Breakdown? Yeah, Breakdown. And that was the worst one out of the Stunticon set. The figure itself was incoherent, and it just all of it just looked goofy, and having it retooled into Wheeljack just made me go, ugh. It just did not fit for me. But honestly, that's a lot more appealing at a $15 price point than a $180 price point for the MP Seeker mold. And it's like, I don't want to spend that kind of money on stuff like that. And that's the other thing. It's like with MP, I kind of felt obligated that I was going to have to buy, season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4 cast, and it kind of got me excited. But then at the end of the day, I'm sitting there. It's like, I don't like tracks. I don't want to spend $50 on a Masterpiece Tracks. I mean, I did. He just sits on my shelf. It's like, whoop-de-frickin' do. I don't want him. It's like, even... Here's my Masterpiece Red Alert. Okay? This is actually a KO. I promised myself I wouldn't buy a KO, but I couldn't bring myself to buy a Masterpiece Red Alert because I hate Red Alert. That's where my mindset comes... partway on giving up the MPs is just it's stuff like this. It's like I don't like Red Alert. I don't care about Red Alert. I don't want him really in my collection, but I needed something on the shelf, so I bought this KO, and it's actually a piece of shit, an absolute piece of shit, worse than before. So it's just shit like that. It really bothers me. And it's like, I don't want to feel obligated to buy certain figures. Just for the sake of the collection. X-Transbot's doing a lot of those mini-bots. Windcharger and Tailgate. And I hear the figures are very subpar. And, falling apart. They got a high price point on it, but... I don't care. I don't want it. And I was sitting there feeling like, well, nobody else is going to make it for a while, so I might as well buy it so that I can have it in my collection, so I can knock that void out. And it's like, I don't really care enough about them. And that's one thing that's majorly getting me. It's just, I don't care enough about certain figures or certain characters to justify spending that kind of money on a subpar figure, or something I'm not going to really enjoy. Like, let's take Tracks. It's a subpar figure for the most part. Some people loved it, some people didn't like it. I didn't like it, but part of that is because I don't like Tracks. So it's like, I can't enjoy this figure, is my problem. I can't enjoy this figure. I spent, I think it was like $45-$50 because it went on clearance, because apparently other people have the same thought on it. But he's not the figure I want in my collection. He's not the figure I need. So it's just, yeah. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. It's like this is just, it's not what I want to collect. I don't want to collect figures that are like representing characters that I never liked or didn't care for. And then when there are characters that I do like and I do want to buy them, you know, they're the MP Seekers. They're $200 a piece. It's like, good grief. That's generally that's the funds I have for a paycheck. Every single paycheck. You know, it's like, okay, I could buy a Seeker this week or this paycheck. And it's like, I don't want to spend that kind of money on repaints. You know, that's an age-old, you know, debate. I love the Seekers, and I'm gonna have to spend money on Seekers at some point anyway. But it's like I don't like them enough, or I don't like that mold enough to sit there and say, okay, this is worth it. And you know, like MP10, yeah, amazing, perfect figure, but you know, everybody else around him isn't quite so amazing. So, you know, and like I was saying, you know, I miss being able to go to the store, going on the toy hunts, and just be like, you know what, this figure looks cool. I'm gonna buy him and, you know, do a review on him. And then, you know, a couple days later, I'm at the store. And it's like, you know what, this figure looks like shit. I'm gonna buy him so I can make fun of him because it's only $15 and I can afford to do stuff like that. I can't afford to do that with a $100 figure. And that's why I've been getting really pissed off at the $100 figures that don't quite hit the right marks for me. It's like, this sucks, you know? Yeah, and I've actually been debating this for quite a while. I went pretty Marvel Legends heavy there for a while, just because I was having a lot of fun with the fact that it's like, okay, I could spend $100 and buy an entire wave of Marvel Legends figures. And then I could spend, you know, yeah, that's generally how much I was spending, about $100, and I'd get an entire wave of Marvel Legends, and I was having a blast with that. Kind of fizzling out a little bit now with my interest. Yeah, I've also picked up some Warhammer models, and I've been working on those. And those are keeping my interest a lot more than the MP figures, because it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know what to do with them. I just, like I said, I've just not been having fun. And that's the most important thing for me. And I know for a lot of people about a collection is to have fun with it. I don't want necessarily to, you know, put all these figures up on a shelf and then close off the shelf and be like, there's my Season 1 Autobot cast, I'm done, I don't want to touch it ever again. It's like, I don't really want to do that. I want to take them off the shelf, I want to mess with them, but you know, I also don't want to be sitting there and like, okay, I need to rebuy this figure. You know, part of the rebuying was from last year when Remus's situation came up and I sold the whole collection. And I've been trying to catch up, and you know, that also was pretty daunting too. Just, you know, trying to catch up on figures. It's like, okay, I had this figure before, now I'm gonna spend another $80 on it, and you know, I don't get a review out of it. I don't get you know, I don't get to, you know, transform it that much. I just throw it on the shelf and I'm done with it. You know, it's just, yeah. You know, it's like, okay, so I rebought Blot from Unique Toys, because at some point I plan on getting the rest of the set. But so I got Blot first, and I just sat there. It's like, okay, I spent, you know, $100 on him. Yay! Eventually I'll get to it, but for the most part he just sits on the shelf doing nothing. It's like. And you guys, you know, I've had people ask me, you know, what happened to your collection? You know, why is it so empty? It's like, well, it's not empty. At that point, now it's kind of empty. But at that point, all I did was I took all the Decepticons from here and I moved them up to the shelf up here because I was going to do Season 1 of the Decepticons up here and Season 2. And I didn't have any Season 2, so it just looked, you know, sections of my display shelves were just empty. So now I'm going to fill it up with just whatever I want, as opposed to like any one collection. I was going to go back to Chug But I decided, again, I don't want to go back and just buy a bunch of stuff that I've already had and not have fun with it. Throw those figures up. So I'm just gonna go into, buying the figures in stores. Ordering a few figures here and there. The figures that I'm like, what, that looks interesting. I wanna give that a try. It's like, for the longest time I've been wanting to take a look at the Fans Project Dino King set. And I've been back and forth on that. But ultimately, it always boils down to, well, they're too small to fit in my collection. And it's just like, why should I have that mindset? I should just be able to buy whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want. So, I'm going to keep a few Masterpiece figures. Hot Rod. Hot Rod was always one of my favorite characters, so I'm keeping him. Galvatron. So I took Galvatron over to my mom's house. I kind of snuck it in and then told her, I'm like, hey, would it be alright if I put a Leonard Nimoy memorabilia in your China cabinet? And she's like, oh yeah, she's a huge Star Trek fan. She's like, yeah, that sounds great. So I put Galvatron in there, and she's just like, I should have known. I should have known. It was so funny, and it's still there to this day. It's been there for about a week now, just sitting in her China cabinet. He's pointing at a plate. He's just kind of like, it's pretty funny. So yeah, it's like, yeah, that's all I really want to do is just have some fun with it. Be able to go to the store, pick up Transformers, play with them, mess with them, throw them around, stuff like that. Also, like Sammy T, me and him worked out a deal where I traded my green Hercules for his white and red, the Perseus, I think it's called, set, and in no way, shape, or form that does that thing fit any collection except for maybe a Shattered Glass collection. But to be completely honest, I love it. I think it looks great. I'm having a blast messing with it. I actually like that color scheme better than I did the Hercules. I absolutely love that set. But it's like, okay, if I'm gonna do this kind of collection or this kind of collection, it doesn't really fit, so I should probably get rid of it and get the real thing. But ultimately, it's like, you know what? Why? I just want to throw it on the shelf, just have some fun and look at it. Take it off the shelf and transform it. So, anyway, I guess that's really it. I'm gonna try and get that war video done tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, this does not interfere with the Devastator War. I'm gonna continue getting them. So I got 3 Toy World and 3 Generations toys, so we're halfway there. And there's the Bone Crushers out and Mixmasters out. So get those, and then we're just looking at Long Haul and Hook from both companies. So we're pretty close. So I'm not going to give that up, and I'm also not going to give up on the Insecticon War that I've been planning. I'm waiting for Kickback to come out and then the MMC ones to come out, and then we'll be able to compare the 3 options for Insecticons. And for the most part, this won't really interfere with the MPs because I'll just be doing more giveaways. So we'll continue doing that. And speaking of that, we still have about half the tickets available for Nero Rex. So hit me up as soon as you can for that, and I still have 8 tickets left for this guy. So hit me up on Facebook, and we can definitely get those tickets sold. And if I ever figure out how to transform this guy, I think I got it halfway. But if I ever figure out how to transform this guy, I should probably just look at instruction. But that's just against my nature. But as soon as I figure out how to transform this guy, I'll do a review on it, and then we'll do the giveaway later. So yeah, I guess that's really all there is. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with having fun as opposed to needing to get this, and this, and this. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, that looks good. just pick that up. If it's a Masterpiece figure and I'm interested in it, I might pick it up. If it's a Chug figure and I'm interested in it, I might pick it up. If it's if it's third party, I might pick it up. I mean, this doesn't change me. It just changes, my focus on my collection. So I'm going to be looking for more fun stuff as opposed to needing stuff. So, and yeah, I guess that's really it.